Welcome back. It's Rich Brecklin, Keller Williams Premier Realty, sold by Brecklin.com. In today's video, we're going to talk about the 2 myths holding buyers back from buying a home. All right, so maybe you want to buy a home, but you might believe one or both of these things to be true. Number one, you need 20% down to buy a home. Everyone's always told, save 20%. You gotta put 20% down. You don't wanna pay, the mortgage insurance. 20% down is kind of what everyone is taught, or at least it seems like everyone repeats that. However, that's not always true. Depending on your financial situation and what type of loan you're getting, you don't need 20% down, nor do you have to. So there are a lot of loans out there where you might need 3%, 5%. If you're VA, 0. A lot of times, depending on where the interest rate is, it might make more financial sense for you not to dump all of that cash, into that house and put that into other investing where you're going to get a higher rate of return compared to what that interest rate is. I've also had where we work it in the closing costs where the seller actually pays that private mortgage insurance. So really it kind of comes down to your lender, but you do not always need 20% down to buy a home. So it's definitely worth looking into, and if you're a renter, you may be able to buy a home sooner rather than later. If you're holding back and waiting to save that 20%, you might miss out on that home that you could buy today for 3%. But just something to think about. And myth number 2, I need my credit score to be a 780 or above, or I can't get a loan. That's another false statement. Yeah, it's great to have a high credit score, but not everyone does. So depending, maybe your credit is new, or maybe you made some bad financial decisions in the past, but 50% of loans originated were 500 to I think the number is 749. I'll share that stat here with you. But you don't always need a 780 or higher. So again, it comes down to the lender, the type of loan you're getting, and what you can afford. Obviously, the better your credit rating is, the better interest rate you're going to get. But if you're worried, say you're 720 and you think you have to wait and continue maybe renting or living with family or friends until you can buy, again, that might not be the case. So it's worth looking into this instead of just sitting and waiting. So if you have any questions about either of these, or would like to talk further about your home search or what it takes to even buy a home, I'm happy to help. I work with a lot of great lenders in the area, and I know they would be more than happy to answer your questions also. So I look forward to hearing from you. This is Rich Brecklin, Keller Williams Premier Realty, sold by Brecklin.com. Have a great day. Bye.